How to survive the Great Depression of the 2020s. I have moved to the Philippines and the culture here has a strong Spanish influence. It is very similar to Mexico in a lot of ways. Having stepped away from North American culture, I am able to view necessities in a whole new light. If all of your family has a steady income, well, then no worries. But for most people, I think it will be critical to start learning to live without, like, right now. Starting as children, we have all learned that we need our very own everything. It is a this is mine, that is yours society. Well, 2020 will be like nothing you have ever experienced, and if your economic upbringing was similar to mine, you are not even prepared to withstand the hardships of what is about to happen, unless you're a prepper. You need to spend a few years in a third world country to truly know what you can live without, but for now, maybe you can just learn some tricks. It is very common in the Philippines for a household to be occupied by 4 generations and 10 people in a tiny 2-bedroom house. Or a husband and wife with 3 children to live in an 8-foot by 8-foot bedroom with an outside bathroom and kitchen. Honestly, I believe those people are better prepared for the years ahead of us. So even if you're thinking, I can get by the end of this video, it just might have you thinking, we could be rich when this is over. Depending on how much worse this is than 2008, houses could be selling for 1/4, 1/8, or even less than their current value. So what do you need to do? I am talking about as many families as possible living within a single household. An 8-income household. 3 families, maybe with a couple teenage or young 20s children, all living in a 5-bedroom house. Now I know what you're thinking, but what you really need to ask yourself is how much do I need and how much am I willing to share? 1 TV, 3 cell phones, 1 computer, and 2 cars. Even with 25% unemployment within the household, it will still be a 6-income household. So normally what 1, maybe 2 incomes would buy, now 6 incomes can share. If this lasts 3 years, those 4 extra, say $30,000 incomes amount to $360,000. I think most people wish they were closer with their families. This is your chance. Bite the bullet, do it for 3 years. At the bottom of this crash, buy 4 houses with $90,000 cash each, and watch them skyrocket to over $500,000 each over the next decade following the Depression. Now I know what you're thinking. Too many sacrifices. Well, don't focus on the physical possessions. If you keep that attitude you were raised with, we were all raised with, not only will you lose more physical possessions in the end, you will also lose the opportunity to rebuild those bonds with your family. In the meantime, here are some sacrifices to consider. Toilet paper. I don't want to dive into that mess, but Google it. There are some more hygienic alternatives. Alright, the second one, and this is a big one, is secondhand. We have some high quality stuff in America and it makes its way to thrift stores even though it is perfectly good. At Goodwill and garage sales should become the new norm over the next few years. You should start now. Here in the Philippines, everyone shops at secondhand stores. The difference is that they aren't filled with the cheap local stuff. They are filled with all the stuff that doesn't sell at Goodwill in America. Literally, I'll see Goodwill tags with prices of 50 cents, and the moment it gets here, people are paying $5 for it. Let's touch on supply and demand. In the coming years, supply will be available, but no demand. People will continue to hoard their money until light can be seen at the end of the tunnel. This means that necessities like food will probably stay about the same, while luxuries like cars, real estate, and investments will become very cheap. Unemployment will be about 25%. 1 out of 4 will not be able to find a job, and 3 out of 4 will probably be making less than they are accustomed to.
Oh, hi. Oh, welcome to Walmart. Oh, look at you. Hello. Oh, terrific.
Something that helps me is breaking down a monthly payment into an annual expense. Then comparing that to something physical I could buy. For example, if having 2 cell phones instead of 1 is an extra $100 per month, that is $1,200 per year. Would I rather have a used car or a new computer or 2,500 pounds of rice? I live on $16 per month electric bill here, and as low as $7 per month. Not because electricity is cheap, it's actually quite expensive. It's because things like hot water heaters and hot showers in general are so wasteful.
Yo, Mom, isn't there any hot water?
Oh, no, there wouldn't be today.
Of course not. That's silly of me.
Sweet dreams.
I hope this has been helpful. The depression of 2020 doesn't have to hurt that bad if you are willing to change your lifestyle. Put yourself in a situation that when your grandchildren ask, what was the Great Depression of the 2020s like? You tell them how it was the greatest thing that ever happened to you. The only reason this is going to cripple America as hard as it will is that people are not willing to live without their own cell phone, their own car, their own computer, or their own house.